Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So the NFL draft is right around the corner and I could not be more excited, and I know you're excited too. There's so many things to look forward to. I mean, we have 2 first-round picks, one of those being the second overall pick. How crazy is that? We have the second pick in the second round, which is 34th overall, an extremely valuable draft asset. And then of course in the third round, we also have multiple picks. So tons of picks. It's going to be so much fun. By the way, I'm actually going to be live streaming the draft, so I'm really looking forward to it. But in this one, I wanted to shift gears from the draft and talk about a free agent. There is a free agent player he's still available. He's still on the open market, and I quite frankly feel like he would be a massive upgrade, a massive boost for that specific room. It's cornerback, former Oregon State Beaver, Kansas City Chief, and Pittsburgh Steeler, Steven Nelson. Coming in at 5'11", 195 pounds, this isn't an exaggeration. Steven Nelson is one of the better cornerbacks in the league today. And I know it sounds weird because he got released from Pittsburgh, and typically it's not a good sign, but the reason why Pittsburgh released Steven Nelson is fully because of finances. It wasn't because his production is dipping off. It wasn't because he's, a locker room distraction. Nothing like that. It's just because they couldn't afford him. Pittsburgh's cap situation is not looking too good. They definitely have to figure some things out over there, but at the end of the day, Steven Nelson is still a highly productive player and one of the best man coverage corners in the entire National Football League. And by the way, I'll try to find like a cool highlight video or something like that and link it down below in the description box. Because, I mean, Steven Nelson, he's underrated. He's not really talked about by many people out there as one of like a top 5, top 10 guy. But I definitely think when you're talking about like a top 15 cornerback in the league, he's in there. Like, his play backs it up. What he does in open field is great. He knows how to wrap up. He knows how to bring running backs down out of the flat. He knows how to recognize screen plays and really come up and make noise. You look at what he consistently does deep down the field in coverage. I mean, man, it's tremendous. I feel like that specifically is the reason why he would be a really solid fit with the New York Jets and that Robert Saleh defense, because it'll give him an opportunity to show off those instincts, to show off his ball skills. I mean, this is a really talented player here with a ton of production. You look at what he did in 2020, 15 games, 2 interceptions, 48 combined tackles, 9 passes defended against. Really solid season, right? But 2018 with the Kansas City Chiefs, I would probably say is his better year, or really his best season of his career. 16 games, full season, 4 picks, 15 passes defended against, and then of course 68 combined tackles. So we're looking at Steven Nelson at 28 years old. Is it worth bringing him in? I think the answer is yes. I don't think Nelson's in a situation where he's asking for a 4-year contract. No, not in the least. I mean, you look at other cornerbacks, more bigger name cornerbacks, right? Guys that have signed contracts this offseason. I mean, we have William Jackson, 3 years, $40 million. I think Shaq Griffin also signed a 3-year, $40 million deal. We have Chidobe Awuzie, 3 years, 21. Patrick Peterson, 31 years old, 1 year, $8 million. I think that would be the ballpark range for Steven Nelson, or even a Kyle Fuller at a 1 year, $9.5 million. And by the way, Kyle Fuller actually has a really similar backstory on how he hit the open market, just like Nelson. It's not because he sucks. It's not because he's not producing. It's not because he's, 50 years old out there and he's too old to play the position. It's just because the Bears couldn't afford to keep Kyle Fuller around. Same thing with Nelson here. I think there's something there. I mean, worst case scenario, and by the way, I know we're gearing up for the draft. The Jets are doing tons of homework on all these different guys, and this is a really deep cornerback class. Greg Newsome, Caleb Farley, I mean, so many different guys. Melvin Fonwu from Syracuse, Asante Samuel, Florida State. You can literally target guys in every single round. There's cornerbacks that could go in the first round, second round, third round that I feel like would all have a day one impact with the New York Jets. And I also really like Bless Austin and Bryce Hall currently on the roster, but I do think it should be a priority to bring Steven Nelson in, even if it is just a 1-year contract. You never really know what can happen. Maybe he excels and then he gets extended afterwards. Who knows? And look, the chances of Nelson signing somewhere before the draft are very slim. I get that. But worst case scenario here, the Jets maybe miss out on a couple of corners. Like they miss out on Greg Newsome. He gets taken by the Bears at 20. Caleb Farley doesn't fall. Maybe he goes 22 to the Titans. They need cornerback help for sure. And the Jets miss out. And then 2 days after the draft winds up, Steven Nelson signs a 1 year, $9 million contract with the division rival Buffalo Bills, who are desperately looking for another corner opposite of Tre'Davious White. So we miss out on a good chunk of corners in the draft, and we had a number one cornerback sitting out in the open market just waiting to be signed. And now all of a sudden he's with a division rival, helping them make a Super Bowl push. So that would be worst case scenario. Obviously, it's kind of a pessimistic way of thinking about it, but it's definitely something that could happen nonetheless. So I think at the end of the day, Steven Nelson, again, should be a priority. That's just my take. That's just my personal opinion here. Let me know your thoughts down below. Would you want the Jets to bring in Steven Nelson? Do you want to just save the money? Do you think we should just make a full court press for a Caleb Farley, a Greg Newsome, somebody like that? Maybe trade up for a JC Horn, trade up for a Patrick Surtain. Maybe, you're eyeing a guy in round 2, round 3. Or maybe you just want to roll with Bryce Hall and Bless Austin and kind of see what they're made of in this new defense. But one thing is for sure, the Buffalo Bills are getting better. The New England Patriots are getting a lot better. The Miami Dolphins, I think they're getting a lot better. They also have 2 first-round picks. So the Jets can't lag behind, rest on our laurels here. I feel like we need to exercise every opportunity possible to improve the team. Now, I'm not saying we need to spend every single cent that we own and we need to overpay for players. We have to, of course, do everything smart, and I really like the approach by Joe Douglas so far. I thought we pretty much nailed free agency outside of bringing in interior offensive linemen here. But that could always be addressed later, right? We'll see what happens with the draft. Maybe we pass on a corner and go with Elijah Vera Tucker, but I'm just kind of rambling at this point. So anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Would you like Steven Nelson, or would you rather pass and him sign elsewhere? Thanks so much for watching, and as always, go Jets.